Well, the Democrats have voted today for New Hampshire, for the state of New Hampshire is the first state that's voted in the presidential elections. And Bernie Sanders won New Hampshire. I knew he would. It's the first state to vote for president. The drama kicks off the Democratic Party's state-by-state vote to elect the nominee, who will then fare off against Trump in November. Well, almost everyone in the media, as well as the most vocal party members, for all of them, this is a nightmare. The Clinton machine is working behind the scenes to destroy a truly viable candidate, Tulsi Gabbard. This has had the effect of propelling Sanders, the resident socialist of American politics, an ideological outsider, into first place. Sanders is ready to take American politics by storm, the same way that Donald Trump did in 2016. The same way he faces opposition from the party who see him as too extreme left. And Sanders is ready to take American politics by storm. It's the rise of the insider pretending to be an outsider. The rise of the insider pretending to be an outsider. His views on sexual and environmental justice, for example, just parrot narratives spun by the mainstream media. So the governor of California can come on TV and act so self-righteous like he did this week on The View and talk of a civil war in the Democratic Party. They fight with themselves, they fight with the rest of the country, and they fight with Donald Trump. They're in complete zombie land. And he thinks that he speaks for all of the US or that he speaks for all of California. And he and others don't see how this shows how out of touch they are. He is out of touch and the Democratic Party is out of touch. There are those like Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders who have a message that resonates, but those politicians, for them, it's the Democratic Party, the ones that the Democratic Party puts up, the Joe Bidens, they're the ones that get sponsored, but they don't get the vote. You know, Elizabeth Warren couldn't get any reaction yesterday when she went into a Denny's restaurant. It was a complete flop. People didn't even want to shake her hand. Sanders won New Hampshire last time in 2016, but Hillary Clinton got the cover of Time magazine. Eventually, the media got rid of him, and this helped Donald Trump. They've changed the rules of the debate to keep Michael Bloomberg in and changed the rules to keep Tulsi Gabbard out. So Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is so smug and doesn't understand and is in a panic. Meanwhile, the American people choose. This infighting in the Democratic Party obviously works to Trump's advantage. And a Sanders nomination is good in the sense that it broadens the debate. Just like Trump's version of right-wing nationalism helped broaden the debate, this populism is healthy. Unfortunately, I really question Bernie Sanders' radical credentials when I hear about mandatory vaccines and more taxes because the world's going to end in 12 years due to climate change. He talks of sexual and environmental justice and bathroom equality. I mean, where did the left go wrong? I am a liberal. This is called liberal talk radio, but in many ways, I think Trump embodies more of the heart of liberalism, which is freedom. And in so many ways, Bernie Sanders seems to go along with the military agenda. A supporter of Bernie Sanders wrote an article recently saying that Joe Biden is corrupt. And Sanders was quick to go on TV and say, no, I don't think this, just like he was quick to go on TV and say Hillary Clinton wasn't evil. But it makes you wonder how well he can see the systemic corruption he vows to fight. More and more, it seems in his mind that it's a battle with the Republican Party. And he can't see the similarity in the populism that he shares in common with Trump, or at least pretends to share, probably most of it just rhetoric. I mean, all the things that he proposes were mainstream in European politics in the 50s. I really don't find him that radical. It's a kind of impotent moralism, which is already an admission of defeat. And really, California Democrats do not get it. They can't understand why all the Sanders voters didn't switch to Hillary last time around after she stole the nomination. That's actually quoting Trump on that one about the steal. They thought that they were going to switch to her, but they didn't. And Jerry Garcia said, if you choose the lesser of two evils, you're literally choosing evil. And that's how the Democratic Party acted about one of their own. calling it a devil's bargain. So for one who was watching the speeches of Trump, one thing stood out. Never before had a politician delivered improvised speeches at all events, which showed a knowledge of American politics as well as an intellect unmatched on the American political scene. And he was able to identify problems with globalism, which was super taboo. So those who dismissed Trump as voters as illiterate rednecks, to quote CNN recently, or deplorables, to quote the Clinton noise machine, clearly didn't get it and clearly don't get it. And so Trump gives rallies and tens of thousands of people show up. Elizabeth Warren goes to Denny's and people don't even turn their heads. Trump's America First rhetoric is music to the ears of those who have seen the middle class fall down due to automation as well as globalization. The media has made two Americas, and they're just talking in their own echo chamber and don't realize that people have moved on. The dinosaur media is completely out of touch. People don't even watch that stuff anymore. Sanders is about ready to shake up the Democratic Party in as radical a way as Trump did the Republican Party. Think about it. And this is going to change the face of American politics in ways that right now are probably unimaginable. And the Republicans cannot wait to run ads showing Sanders with a communist sickle and a red flag. He's part of what they call the Squad, self-denominated. It's a group of American politicians, mostly women, who advocate for a Green New Deal. It consists of the massive deindustrialization along the lines of UN's Agenda 21. It actually calls for proposals that will completely bankrupt the US. It's also a call for a massive government takeover of industry to make zero carbon emissions. Those advocating for it, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, another self-proclaimed socialist, actually compare it with a world war against the sun. And it would be interesting to ask Sanders if he also favors banning those who don't agree with this war against the sun. So while Sanders' ideas about free healthcare and free education and pensions for old people, all that is great and people like it. But when he starts talking about sexual justice and environmental justice, it's a crusade that it's going to get hard to get the Americans on the bandwagon. That hysteria over the climate, I don't think it's going to resonate with most Americans. The point is that by rigging the election against Tulsi Gabbard, the Democrats have paved the way to be beat once again, hosted by their own petard, to quote Hamlet by William Shakespeare. Hosted by their own petard. They are laying the seeds for their own defeat.